here we go.
Good evening, Peter.
Whoa!
You have 576 possible web shooter combinations.
That is awesome.
Spider-Man: Homecoming follows Peter Parker after the events of Captain America: Civil War, as he, under the watchful eye of Tony Stark, attempts to prove himself worthy of joining the Avengers. After a few failed attempts, Stark decides that being a superhero might be too much for a high schooler. But when a small-time criminal played by Michael Keaton is selling and using stolen alien technology, Parker makes it his mission to stop him. With The Amazing Spider-Man 2 still closely in the rear view, it seemed almost too soon to reboot Spider-Man once again. But boy, did they pull it off. With an unprecedented team-up between Marvel and Sony, the character we love was finally brought to the big screen the way he deserved. This movie did the best job of portraying Spider-Man as the high schooler he is. He makes decisions that are clearly too big for him to make, and just like a high schooler, he makes a lot of mistakes. But like Spider-Man, he's never willing to give up. And Tom Holland nailed the role of Peter Parker. You can tell he's having a blast playing the character, just like the character is having a blast training to become an Avenger. I really felt like I was watching a high schooler come to terms with the world as well as his superhuman abilities. And also like a high school coming-of-age film, it was laugh-out-loud funny. I think this movie might count as a comedy in some respect. The acting is fantastic across the board. Marissa Tomei also nails it as Aunt May, and you can really feel her worriment and love for her nephew Peter, even though she doesn't really have that much screen time. It was great seeing Michael Keaton playing a comic book villain, namely the Vulture. He plays the role so endearingly sinister, it's really wonderful to watch. Another thing I really appreciated was that all of Peter's friends were of color, one way or another, which for a big Hollywood movie was a nice step in the right direction. I cannot stress it enough. This is a perfect Spider-Man film. I'm an enormous fan of the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire movies, but what Homecoming did was portray who we know from the comics to a T, and I'm very much looking forward to Spider-Man's many returns in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Spider-Man: Homecoming is so worth the price of admission.